Welcome to the Market Mindset. We are the hub for news, results, and CEO interviews focusing the junior commodities sector. We provide market analysis and perspective that will help position you for solid returns. If that sounds like something you're interested in, you can help support us by liking this video, subscribing to our channel, and clicking the notification bell. For more info, you can visit our website. All links are in the description below. Now let's get into today's video.
Morning, everyone. It's Andrew with the Market Mindset. We've got a quick, it was a kind of an audible, but quick catch up with Robert Rolfing from Desert Mountain Energy, because the announcement of this award, it's great news, but also a little bit more detail too on the drilling campaign. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I am really feeling very blessed and honored. Our company was given this award. It's a Canadian Business Award for 2022, and we were given it for being the top exploration and production company for helium in North America, and being listed as the innovator of new techniques and ways to do things. So this is unique. The award is based on not just for drilling, but ESG and how are you doing it, the entire package. And it was interesting how they brought up, you have 3 women on your board of directors. You've tried to do this. You're trying to be the innovator in the industry for drilling practices, application of drilling practices and cementing practices. And also, you truly are trying to be as green, work towards a green economy. And that's hard to do, but it was very gratifying for the team, for us as a company. I think all the shareholders should be sharing that, and that joy that we're given the top award. That's neat.
It really is. And it's good to have that, vindication or the acknowledgement from third parties. And Canada's a pretty green, tough country for that type of stuff too. That for them to acknowledge in that way, that's pretty significant, and that bodes well for future production. Having key stakeholders in alignment with where you're going, not only just today, but 5 years down the road. I mean, it sets up the company for a lot smoother, future as you continue to grow and expand.
It's again, I'm just really happy for our team and from our shareholders, because I as people could see, the last time I exercised my options, I didn't sell any, and so I picked up another 1,320,000 shares, and I put the money in the kitty. I didn't sell shares to do that. Somewhere down the road, I'll sell some, but sure. I don't know when. But for the shareholders as such to see the support from outside being recognized for this award, being the #1 company in North America. And it came out of the blue. That was totally out of the blue, Andrew. And Don and I went, wow, that's really neat.
No, it really is. And I think it'll once a lot of bigger funds that are really key stakeholders in this ESG kind of movement and being responsible towards the environment and whatnot, they're going to see that and recognize that. And especially in such a difficult, we're talking drilling and production. This is not the easiest area to be able to be recognized in that way. So it's a challenging, but a great accomplishment because it's so challenging.
It's neat. And then to bring you up to date, where we in the process of getting the rig moved, and then spudding the next well, and so hopefully we'll be through with it by the end of the week or in the middle of the following week. 10 days, something like that. And then once we get through with this, we're going to pull back for just a short time, because the workover rig is much smaller, and it's currently tied up on an extended project, and they're actually going to pull it off and bring it to us. But it may not be until towards the end of March, 3 weeks out. It could be 4 weeks, but 3 to 4 weeks out. And if they finish up in between on what they're doing, they release it to us, then we'll begin sooner, and then we'll start doing the completion, and we'll doing the flow testing, and we'll be able to do sampling, up from those specific zones. In between, when we talked before, somebody had sent me an email and said, well, Robert, you said you had all this other high tech, this mass spectrometer, the gas chromatograph, but the reason it's not totally accurate as far as, because you're not isolating just one zone through a few perforation. So you know what the cumulative, what the background is on everything. So if you're taking a separate sample and you run it through a gas chromatograph for more specific total breakdown of everything, you have to dial out, in effect, everything else that you were doing, because we're drilling with air.
Yeah.
So that means you're going to have a large portion of it will be nitrogen and oxygen. And so if you know what the background level, there's more nitrogen at 5,500 feet than there is at sea level. There's less oxygen. So it's just, exactly what those numbers are. So you just dial it in, and you know how many cubic feet per minute you're shoving down hole to drill with. If it's 2,100 or 2,000, whatever the number is at the time, you know what it is. You can dial it in. You know how accurate is it, parts per billion, or in some of these cases it was like, man, that's parts per thousand. And when you start seeing it go from 1 or 2 parts per million, and you're talking parts per thousand, it's like, it's significant, especially when you're looking at helium.
Yes.
That's neat.
And also, I mean, it's hard you can't post those results because they have to come back in a certain specific way to be able to be relatable for the Securities Exchange. But what's great is that for your whole team, this data, even the early indications of it, really, it means a lot more to you than it would be to even put out the market just yet. Anyway, it's data that for you guys that you could formulate, tabulate, and also kind of look at and imagine in different ways. But it's good that you're feeling strong about it, and that you're liking what's happening. And we just have to be a bit more patient on our end until such times as those results come out.
That's it. I am probably the least patient person out here.
Yeah.
And don't ever pray for patience. You'll get it.
Oh, I know.
You will be tested. But it still comes back to, we're still on long-term plans. I'm still working. I keep saying this, I'm working 5 years out constantly. I just revised my, had another end of the month. Typically 4 days into the month, I reset my goals, and the ones have changed. Sometimes they don't change very much, but and some people may say, well, geez, why do you waste time? It keeps me focused on exactly what I have to do here and now, because I have like short-term and long-term goals, and our entire team works that way. We all have short and long-term goals. It's like when you're drilling out here. We set it up to where if anybody who's working out there, if they see something that they think isn't right, you can get hurt, or it's ethically, morally, or illegal. Everyone has a right to stop the drilling. We may come back up the hole. That isn't where, we haven't done that, but it's like, it just promotes a different mindset.
Yeah.
And so you have some of the workers who are just working on the rig, and they're pretty free now about, well, they want to understand why you're doing with this and this and different aspects. And they're like, well, what if you did that? Well, here's what happens if you do that or not, so and when you can include them into some of their ideas, it gives them a buy-in to, well, I'm not just here collecting a paycheck.
Yeah.
I actually have, my opinion is valued.
Yeah.
And I like having people working for us who realize they count, they matter.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, all of these things, it's part of the key stakeholder message. It's also a reflection of that top down. If you come from strength and you come with a goal and a set in mind, and it's a long-term vision, those that are long-term investors that can see that vision, that's who you're trying to attract anyway. And giving the market sometimes too much news or too much hints at stuff, that just attracts the trading type, which, you know, they serve a role in the world, and that's great. And it's just not how we do things. It's not how I look at investing in long-term businesses. It's not just to trade and to make an investment. It's that if you want to have the best kind of return, is you find the team that's doing all the things, and that's tough to find all of them. They've got the project, they've got the team, and they're doing it in the right, correct fashion. It's pretty hard to find all those key elements, and we've got that here, and it's great to have been recognized for that. And you know, once again, I said it in the last video, that third quarter is going to come up in a hurry. I know it seems you know, painful at some points, but it's not far off.
No, and I'm looking forward. There's some other things that we'll be announcing here too as we're going forward, how we address other issues, long-term logistical issues, the things we put into play, and how we're choosing to handle that. The board has made some important decisions to go forward, and some of those hopefully by the AGM later this month. Some of that hopefully we'll be able to put out there.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much again for the quick update, and congratulations again on a job well done. And we look forward to seeing any and all news that comes out as well, that in the near future as well.
Thank you, Andrew.
All the best. Take care now.
Bye.